All right, my friends, if you're new here, hi, my name is Jamie, and welcome to a slice of my deck in Michigan. I live in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and tonight we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a 90-minute yin practice, and we're going to do for stress and anxiety relief. So if you've had a day, or if the full moon is mooning, you've come to the right place, my friends. So let's grab some props. If your body's really sore, grab anything in your house that's going to help you become more calm and comfortable. So grab a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, don't worry. Stack a few pillows from your bed together or a few couch pillows together. 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks, just stack books together or really firm pillows. A folded blanket, just something like a little throw blanket from your couch or chair or something, or bed. And an extra pillow maybe for the head and the neck, or maybe for under the pelvis. We're getting all the cozy stuff. All right. Okay. And I always like to ask, what is the energy like out there tonight, guys? How are we feeling? So if you're new to yin, just know that it's the slowest a yoga practice can get. And we do all of our poses laying down on the ground, on our backs, bellies, or seated. There's no we're going to use very minimal muscular effort. For your clothes, really make sure they're loose and comfortable. If you have compression leggings, it would probably irritate and it won't. Tight compression leggings can cause restriction a little bit with the breathing and the folding when we're in yin. So wear some loose clothes. Pajamas even. Pajamas are encouraged. You can even do this practice in your bed. So if you want to cozy and chill in your bed, and especially if you're super achy or sore or recovering from any sort of ailment, doing it in your bed will offer a lot more support for your joints. I like to use positive affirmations if you're new to my classes. And I like to use different affirmations during different poses. So we're just going to be really kind to ourselves. We're going to talk really nice to ourselves so we can just kind of chill and get out of our heads. Sure not to hurt yourself. Keep those senses up. If anything hurts at any time, back out of the pose immediately. Keep the senses up for excruciating pain and maybe a little mild discomfort from stretching a new muscle. All right, my friends, so my first pose, let's go into, I'm going to do a butterfly pose, but we're going to recline back on a bolster. If you don't want to be reclined back on a bolster, or if your bolster's not firm enough to be in more of a reclined position rather than laying down, choose to lay down. And I will first set up my blanket. If you have your folded blanket, go ahead and grab that guy. And then grab 2 blocks. 2 blocks is what's going to help keep this bolster up. Now, this is not an exact science or anything, but from your bolster, go ahead and lay it the long way on your mat first. Pick it up a little bit, lay behind 1 block that is horizontal, that's more in the middle, and 1 block that is vertical, that's more so at the top or the end of the bolster. Scooch this back a little bit. And then just take your pelvis and butt it up against that bolster. And option 1, you can go ahead and slowly and gracefully lay back on the bolster. Maybe you don't have a pillow, or maybe you do. If you'd like a pillow, if that feels right. And then our first option for our legs, butterfly, recline butterfly. Soles of the feet together and drop those knees wide. If you need some support for knees, just grab a pillow or pillow or a blanket, since we're using the blocks for the bolster, underneath the knees if you need. Or feel free to do a couple different variations of the legs. You can do half butterfly. Extend one leg out long, fold in the other, and go ahead and lay back. Or you can go ahead and extend both legs out long. Or you can simply just lay back, placing the knees together, feet out wide for resting. So wherever you are, let's get cozy. We made it to yoga, folks. Good job. I'm proud of you. And it's going to go up from here. Unclench your jaw. Drop your tongue at the bottom of the mouth. Soften your cheeks and the space between your eyebrows. Smooth the forehead out. Take your fingers, glide it across your forehead. And release your hands when that feels complete. And just notice how we're feeling. Notice how our body's feeling tonight. Not to judge it, just to notice. And we'll start to change the breath. I like to give an option for Ujjayi breathing in through the nose and exhaling out through the nose, or cleansing breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, whichever feels right for you. And let's start to change the breath. Let's take a slow inhale through the nose. And let's do a loud, audible exhale, side out through the mouth first. Gentle inhale through the nose. And release. And we'll continue on. Slow inhale through the nose. Fill up that belly and that chest as much as you can without it feeling labored. Exhale, release. If you'd like a little extra chest stretch, feel free to interlace your fingers, place them behind your head. And there's a chipmunk up on my deck, and you'll probably see him. But let's continue more so with the breath. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale, release. Let's do one more together. Smooth inhale through the nose. And let it out. And just continue on with your practice to bringing awareness to this breath. Just notice how it feels moving in and out of your body. And we hold our poses for about 2 to 3 minutes. And if it still really feels like you can't settle yet because you've been experiencing tough emotions, take your hands, go ahead and give them a good shake. Give your hands, your forearms or your arms, just a good little shake, even flicking your fingers or wiggling your fingers. And go ahead and drop those when that feels complete. And I invite you to repeat to yourself, I will not let thoughts drag me down. I will not let thoughts drag me down. Whatever it is, just know it doesn't rain forever. And we're just, for this moment together, we don't have to walk around believing this all day long, but for just this moment together, just really believe that I will not let thoughts drag me down. Just a few more breaths. At any time, if you do not like or none of the affirmations vibe with you, you can always go ahead and repeat to yourself, I am safe, or simply today is a good day, or tonight is a good night, wherever you are in the world. One more breath. And from here, when you feel ready, if you happen to be in the butterfly, go ahead and move one knee up and meet the other one, and bring those knees to just leaning on each other for a resting pose. Or you can extend them out long, give them a good stretch, and extend those arms up overhead. Nice, good evening stretch here. Just move organically. can roll your wrists, roll your ankles. And release. From here, we're just going to add a little nodding. We're just going to say hello to the neck. We're just going to nod our head back and forth, nice and slow. Your legs can be extended or in a resting pose. Just add a little bit of movement to this spot. Once more. And release. And before we move into the next pose, let's take a few more really, really nice breaths here. So from here, go ahead, close your mouth. Inhale slow through the nose. Exhale really loud, let it out. And for our next couple, when we exhale, let's say ha at the same time. Why don't we, right? Gentle inhale through the nose. Make sure the mouth is closed. Nice big loud ha. A few more times. That might be really loud on your end. I apologize. Inhaling through the nose. Mouth is closed. Let's do once more. Close the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Giant breath. Exhale it out. Put a great big smile on your face. And from here, let's just roll to one side to gently come up to a seated position. And we will get situated for a forward fold. You can continue to leave your blanket on the mat if you'd like. You might have to scooch it a little bit. You can, for forward fold, you don't necessarily have to be scooched off towards the end of the blanket, just somewhere comfortable. For our forward fold, you can go ahead and extend the legs out long with a gentle flex in the toes, and your choice, your feet can be closer together or wider apart. And a couple options here to support our joints is if you'd like to keep a bend in the knee, maybe place a pillow underneath the knees. Or you can even place a block underneath the knees just to keep a bend here, whichever feels right for you. And additionally, we can grab a bolster and we can place this either vertical or horizontal, however way that it feels right for you. We can rest it on our thighs, somewhere around the knees, the shins, however deep you'd like to go. So from here, we can sit up nice and tall. If this feels right for you, go ahead and stay here. If you'd like a little bit more, we're going to exhale, fold at the hips, and ever so gently just rest your forearms on your bolster. This can be a small fold, and then you can work your way further. It doesn't have to be giant, just till you can feel the sensations in your body where you can actually keep breathing without it being labored or feeling excruciatingly not cool. Just figure out where that space is for you. You can rest on your hands, your forearms. You can stack your fists to rest your forehead, or you can take a block, lay it vertical or horizontal, and rest your forehead on that. We just want to fold from the hips. Unclench your jaw. And I invite you to repeat to yourself, I have all I need to be happy. I have all I need to be happy. And just repeat that mantra to yourself as many times as necessary. It can be something small. Like for me, I'm doing a yin class on the deck in September. Yes, that makes me happy right now. And just a little food for thought, take each pose with about half effort. Give each pose half effort when we arrive in it, and just allow gravity to sink us down further the more we breathe and relax. It's not a race to get into the most highest fold, or the deepest sensation so quick. Yin is about stillness in the body, so we can create a little bit of more stillness in the mind. I have all I need to be happy. Just a few more breaths here. One more breath. And when you're feeling ready, if you happen to be folded, making sure just to come up really slowly and easy back to seated. Moving any props out of the way, and just give those legs a good shake here. Notice any sensations in the body. You can point and flex your feet, roll your ankles, roll your wrist in a good way if you'd like. And release. And from here, let's just add a few transitions. Let's say hello to the neck and the shoulders. Let's go in for some nice gentle neck rolls. So you can look up and down, side to side, or you can do little circles or half circles. With your legs, you can keep them straight or crossed. We're just going to move in a way that feels nice and comforting to your neck. Just add a little bit more movements to all the joints. Going at your own pace. Once more. And release, neck back to neutral. And from here, let's add a deltoid stretch for a little bit of them shoulders. Go ahead, take that left arm and just drape it across the chest. And you can hook it or hang on to it with that opposite hand or arm. The elbow can be bent or straight, however it feels right. Option to look forward, inhale through the nose. You can stay here if you'd like a little bit more. Gently turn to the left. And neck back to neutral. Drop those arms. And go ahead and do a little shoulder rolls before we get to the second side. Inhaling up to the ears and dropping down. If it's really been a stressful day for you, you can inhale up and drop down really fast. Just throwing that out there. Once more. And release. And from here, we'll do the deltoid on the second side. Go ahead, drape that right arm across your chest. Hook it with that opposite arm. Elbow can be bent or straight. You can look forward, inhale through the nose. You can stay here or exhale, gently turn to the right. Just noticing sensations here. And exhale back to center, release. And from here, my friends, I'm going to cue a fire log, but you can always take a staggered leg for a variation. So I'll show the staggered leg variation first. So just if you're on your blanket, go ahead and make sure that you're kind of closer, your glutes are closer to the edge with your legs on the ground. And just go ahead and cross the leg, but stagger one leg in front of the other with a gentle flex in the toes, and go ahead and pick whichever leg you'd like to start with. And then you can either sit up or exhale, fold down. However that feels right. For fire log, if you don't, you probably won't need your blanket. Just move it to the side. And then from here, go ahead and pick whichever leg that you'd like. And this is fire log or square pose, is where we stack one shin on top of the other. So go ahead and pick which one you want on top. Gentle flex in the toes, placing it on top of the other. But that foot, it can be resting on the calf or in the knee crease or on the knee. Never feel obligated to stack them perfectly asymmetrical on the knee to the foot to the knee, because it doesn't always happen. And if you feel any sort of gap that you'd like close, offer your joint a block that can close some gaps, or even a pillow. You can squeeze a pillow in there. Sometimes that feels nice. And then from here, you can either sit up nice and tall if you'd like and take your breaths. Or if you'd like a little bit more, we can do a gentle forward fold, an option for some kind of comfort in front of you, a squishy pillow, a bolster, or block, something that can hold your weight that feels nice. And then you can rest on your hands or on your forearms, or stack your fist for your forehead. Soften the shoulders, soften the elbows, unclench your jaw. And I invite you to repeat to yourself, I take one step at a time, and that is enough. I take one step at a time, and that is enough. And let's seal that with a great big smile today, friends. One step every single day. And right now, us being connected together in class, you're taking a step towards better mood, man, especially on full moon. It's really been full moon, and that's for sure. Notice how your breath is feeling. I take one step at a time, and that is enough. Unclench your jaw. Let's take one more breath here. And when you're feeling ready, if you happen to be folded, just pressing yourself up really nice and slow. The slower, the better. Take your hands, grab that top leg, and guide it off and back to the earth. Go ahead and stretch both legs out and give them a good shake here. Notice the difference in them. Just notice what you're feeling. And release. And from here, let's get a little bit more active in the hips for a transition, just a wiper. Go ahead. We're going to lean back on our hands, roll those shoulders up and back, leaning back on your hands. Then folding at the knee, or bending at the knees and placing the feet at least hip distance apart. And then from here, inhale through the nose. Exhale, drop the knees to the right. Inhale back to center. Exhale, drop the knees to the left. And just go ahead and flow this out on your own, moving fast or slow. Just taking a moment to notice how it feels. Once more. And release. Go ahead and come back up to seated. Let's do one little chest opener of interlaced fingers behind our back before we get to the second side. If you would like to take a seated position, feel free to do so. If you want a little bit more action, you can go ahead and take a toe stance. We're going to come to kneeling position, and then we are going to curl our toes. Take your fingers, fan those toes out if you'd like. Sit the glutes on the heels. Roll the shoulders up and back. Option one, you can interlace some fingers, keep the elbows bent, chest and chin slightly lifted. Option two, you can grab your forearms with your hands if you'd like, with the elbow still bent. Or option three, straighten them elbows. The fist is going towards the ground. Chest and chin's a little bit lifted. Big breath. And release. Go ahead, swing those arms just for a moment. Kind of shake and move them around. Come up off of your toe stance. You can pat those feet out. You can just go to kneeling, or you can place your hands on the earth with a little cat-cow to pat those feet out. And release. Moving into our hip opener on the second side, either the staggered leg or the fire log square pose. So coming back to seated position, go ahead, place that opposite foot or opposite leg, gentle flex in the foot, and place it stacking on top of your shin. That foot can lay on the calf, the knee crease, or on top of the knee. Close any gaps with a block or pillow, or even a blanket, stuff it in there. Option to sit up nice and tall, or go ahead, exhale, fold as far as it feels right for you. You can fold on a bolster or pillow, or just on the earth. And I invite you to list one thing that you're truly grateful for today, whatever it may be. Just find something small in life that just made you smile for a moment, or at least made you feel warm and fuzzy for a minute. Maybe nice weather, a delicious meal, or maybe just the ability to choose some peace and calm for this few moments together. Sending little love notes to our body and our minds. Soften the shoulders, unclench your jaw. Scan your body and notice if you're clenching tight somewhere, and just release if you can. Few more breaths here. Maybe you can sink a little deeper. And let's check in with the breath. Nice, gentle inhale through the nose. Exhale, release. Smooth inhale through the nose. And let it out. Soft and slow inhale through the nose. Nice, long, extended exhale. Inhaling through the nose. And release with a big ha noise. And when you're feeling ready, if you happen to be folded, we're just going to push into the hands, really slow and easy, coming back to seated. Move any props out of the way. Take your hands, guide that top leg off and back down to the earth. And just give them a shake for just a sec, and we'll meet in a cat-cow. We'll say hello to the rest of the body. When you're feeling ready, we're coming into our cat-cow pose. If your knees are really sensitive tonight, you can take a pillow and place both your knees on them. Sometimes that just feels really cool. Or a bolster. And then from here, we just want our hips somewhat in a line with the knees, the shoulders somewhat in a line with the wrists. Press into those hands. Those fingertips are nice and wide here. We're putting the weight in our fingertips, our knuckle pads, and those L's of the L's of the fingers. How does that go? The L's. And from here, one last cue, you can curl your toes or not. Some curl for the whole thing, some curl only for the inhale, whichever is right for you. We're going to inhale, drop the belly towards the mat as the tailbone's up towards the sky. Option to look down at the mat or look forward, whatever the neck allows. And then exhale, round the back here, separating them shoulder blades, chin's going towards the chest. Maybe you rock a little bit front to back, maybe not. And also add some extra movement here. Move intuitively, add just a little something more as we sneak in a few more cat-cows. Let's go one more. And release. From here, we're just going to take a few transitions. Go ahead, pick a leg and extend it out long. Curl them toes and rock a little bit on them toes to stretch out that calf, pushing into the heel. Unclench your jaw. Check in with your breath. And release. Opposite side, extend that opposite leg out long, rocking on them toes, just actively stretching out that calf. And and release back to center. One more transition. Let's go in for some hip circles. Go ahead and take those hips and we're going to bring them back towards our heels. More so, go on the right side first and gently guide the hips in a circular motion to the left and come all the way up on your hands as you're doing it. And back around. There's going to be more weight on the hands than in the knees. Make sure the tops of the feet are rooted into the earth. Sometimes they kind of go up and we don't even notice. And then go ahead and reverse that circle. Go in the opposite direction. Just moving at a pace that feels right. This is your time to move your body in a manner that feels valuable. Move in a way that you're going to get something nice and valuable feeling out of this, and it's going to be worth it. Once more. And let's release into a child's pose. Two options. If that low back is barking at you, keep those knees together. Place a pillow or bolster in front of you and exhale, come down to rest on the forearms. Maybe this will be a good option for you. Or you can go ahead and place the knees wider and then bring your chest down to the earth, connecting the forehead to the mat. A few variations for the arms. Option one, if you want more active, just come up on your fingertips, extend those arms long. Option two, you can bend at the elbows, resting your arms. Or option three, prayer pose hands. So go ahead, meet your hands in prayer position first, elbows to the mat, and bring the palms up behind the head. Whichever of these works for you. And if a child's pose is not your vibe tonight, go ahead and take fetal position. Go ahead and lay on your favorite side and bring the knees up closer towards your chest, and that can also stretch that lower back. And I invite you to repeat to yourself, I am filled with calm energy, knowing the universe has my back. I am filled with calm energy, knowing the universe has my back. If you happen to take a fetal position, place a pillow between your knees too. Just know we can help the universe along by trusting in ourselves. If we trust in ourselves, we can really make some things happen. Or you can place a bolster down and lay on it. Totally forgot about that guy. Just a few more breaths. Let's take a few more breaths before we come up. Gentle inhale through the nose. Release it out. And again, inhaling through the nose. And let it out nice and loud. And from here, let's add a side body stretch. Go ahead, walk them palms over towards whichever side of the mat you'd like. And placing one hand on top of the other maybe. Only move as far as it feels, as you'd like to feel the desired sensation in the body. Staying for a breath and then walking them palms over to the opposite direction. Folding down for just a breath more. And release, walk back to center. And from here, we're going to find ourselves on our bellies. But if you'd like to stop and bring some props, if you'd like to use your folded blanket and lay on that, feel free to do so. And we're just going to meet, maybe further to, no, I'm trying to decide for myself too. Go ahead and come down to your belly, nice and slow, easy peasy. We're going to take the load off the shoulders and go ahead, stack the hands, forehead to the earth. We're going to do a couple transitions and then move into a half frog. So from here, we're just going to do some hip shakes. Rock them hips from side to side right now. It's really good for low back tension and really good emotionally. Just move some of that breath around, that energy around. Just rock on those hips back and forth and put a great big smile on your face, my friends. You're doing great. A few more times. Once more. And release. And from here, we'll move into one more transition of a wiper. Go ahead, bend at the knees, bringing the soles of the feet to the sky. Gentle inhale through the nose. Exhale, drop them feet over to whichever side you'd like. They're only going to go as far as the anatomy allows. Inhaling back to center. Exhale, drop them the opposite way. And just go ahead and flow this out on your own, moving fast or slow. Just inhale when the feet are up and exhale when they drop. A few more times. Last time. And release. Go ahead and place those feet to the earth. And from here, we can move into a half frog pose. If you would like to do full frog, go ahead and feel free to do so. But for half frog, we're just gonna inhale one knee or one leg. Go ahead and pick whichever leg you'd like to start with. Bend the knee, bring the knee up towards the side of the body for as far as it feels comfortable. If you wanna grab a pillow for your head and neck, feel free to do so. I'm gonna take my mic out for a sec. You might hear the wind a little bit since my mic is gonna be out. Just take a moment. Oh, absolutely. Tired from school starting. And I invite you to repeat to yourself, I am able to shift to calm energy whenever I desire. I am able to switch to calm energy whenever I desire. Unclench your jaw.
Always check in with that head and the neck. You can lay on the side of the ear or stack your fist on and lay on your forehead. Shift it around however you need to. Notice your belly and notice the rising and falling of your belly as your belly is connected to the earth right now. Scan your body. Notice if you're holding tight anywhere. Just release if you can. Just a few more breaths. One more breath. And release. Whenever you feel ready, go ahead, bring that leg and back down, those feet to meet, and check in with the head and the neck. Come up off the chest for a moment if you need to. If you have a pillow, maybe move it to the side if you don't need it. And then we'll stack those hands and bring our forehead back to the earth. And we'll go ahead and do those transitions again. Go ahead and give another little hip shake here. Connecting with the breath. Just for a moment. Once more. And release. And from here, let's do our half frog on the opposite side. Go ahead, grab your pillow if you need it. Opposite leg, inhale that knee up to the side of the chest as high as comfortable. Maybe resting on your head, on your ear or your cheek. Unclench your jaw. And let's pay attention to our breath cycle. Let's do smooth inhales through the nose. Fill that belly up with air. Exhale it out. Gentle inhale through the nose. And release. Inhaling again through the nose. And let it out. Slow inhale through the nose. Slower and longer exhale out of the mouth. Just continue on with your breath pattern. That conscious breathing is what can really start to relax the body. Relax some tight muscles. Allow the to-do list to fade. Just sinking into peace and comfort for just a few moments. A few more breaths together. Let's take one more breath together. And when you're feeling ready, feel free to bring that leg back straight, those feet to meet. And let's come up for just a moment for Sphinx, just so we can offer a little bit more love to that low back. Take your forearms, plant them into your mat. The closer the elbows are in towards your body, the more intense it will be. And take a look at your forearms. It can be looking like a number 11, palms down, or you can do palms together if you'd like. And our chin slightly lifted, ears are above the shoulders. Check in with the glutes, make sure you're not holding there. Lower body is nice, feet are wide. Just staying for a couple breaths. You can stay here in Sphinx if you'd like, or you can go ahead and add a little extra quad stretch. You can grab the same arm and the same leg if you'd like. You can do both sides. One more breath. And release. And from here, my friends, let's roll to our backs. I'm going to grab some water before I go down, and we are going to find ourselves in a supine twist. And it'd work better if I had my mic closer, right? All right, from here we're coming nice and gently down to the backs, to our backs. Before we get into our twist though, let's say hello in a wind pose to that low back. Inhale those knees up to the chest. Rock a little bit from side to side, or you can do circles, or hands on your knees and do circles. If you'd like a little extra chest stretch, feel free to interlace your fingers behind your head and neck. One more breath. And release. Option to place your feet nicely on the earth or go ahead and slam them down to create a vibration. And from here, go ahead and we're just gonna move the pelvis over slightly. So from here, go ahead, your feet are at least hip distance apart, knees are bent. Go ahead, inhale, lift that pelvis up and gently and ever so gracefully, just a smidge or two, move it to the left. And make sure your blocks are near if you need them. When you're ready, inhale those knees to the chest and go ahead, drop the knees down towards the right. And we have a few options here. Option to either look up at the sky if that feels right for your neck, or option to turn the neck to the left, only if it allows. If it only allows for your neck to be turned for like a few breaths or maybe a minute, give that a whirl and then just go back to where it feels comfortable for it. Because a little bit of movement is way better than none. And option to place a pillow in between your knees if you'd like a little extra comfort, or even a block. Hands can be out to the side. Unclench your jaw. And I invite you to repeat to yourself, my body feels peaceful energy flowing in and around me regularly. My body feels peaceful energy flowing in and around me regularly. Soften the shoulders. Just try to feel that calm energy that you've been created since class began on that very first breath. Take note of that hip that's rooted to the earth. If it feels like it's really tight and clenching, just notice it. Release if you can. Notice the difference in breathing here. Our body's in a twist, so that's going to make it a lot harder to breathe smooth. Just notice. Let's take 3 more breaths together before we come up. Gentle inhale through the nose. Exhale, let it out. Inhaling through the nose. And release. Once more. And when you're feeling ready, if your head is tilted to one side, bringing it back to neutral. Go ahead, inhale those knees back to center. And stay for a little wind pose rock here. Check in with the head and the neck. Check in with that low back. Make sure everything feels all right. And from here, option to place your feet nicely on the earth or go ahead and slam them down to create another vibration. And before we get to the second side, let's add a wiper here. We're going to inhale through the nose. Our feet are hip distance apart first, and the inhaling through the nose. Exhale, drop the knees to the right. If you need an extra pillow for your head and neck, that's great too. Inhaling back to center. Exhale, drop the knees to the opposite side. And just go ahead and flow this out, moving fast or slow. If you prefer to stay here and in a holding pose for here instead of the spinal twist, that's an option too. Once more. And release. From here, let's take an overhead stretch. One more transition. Extend those legs long, arms up overhead. Great big giant good evening stretch. Just move organically. Or you can put both your big toes together as a guide. You can place your palms up to the earth and bend the fingers back if you'd like. And release. You can nod your head from side to side before we get there. And release. And from here, if you do have a pillow, just be really mindful if you're in the twist. If not, scooch it to the side. I think I'm going to bring mine to the side. And let's set up our feet to scooch our pelvis over a little bit. Our feet are hip distance apart, knees are bent. Inhale that pelvis up and gently place it just ever so gently, like an inch or somewhere around there to the right. And when that feels ready, go ahead, inhale the knees to the chest. Arms, extend them out long. Palms can be on the earth or facing up towards the sky, whichever you'd like. And exhale, drop the knees to the left. Placing a block in between the knees or underneath the knees or even a blanket. Option to look up at the sky or gently turn to the right if the neck allows. Unclench your jaw. Soften the shoulders. Feel that glute that's rooted to the earth. If it feels tight, just notice and release if you can. Just allow your limbs to let gravity drop them wherever they're comfortable. I invite you to list one more thing that you're truly grateful for today, whatever it may be. Just a few more breaths. Acknowledge a little slice of sunshine you felt, my friends. Being able to chill and relax in my own yoga class, I'm pretty zen right now. That I can be grateful for. One more breath. And when you're feeling ready, if your head is tilted to the side, bring it back to center, looking up at the sky. Drop the arms down if you'd like. Inhale those knees back to center. One last little wind pose rock here. Maybe drop the knees, open a little wider, or not. And from here, let's move right into happy baby for a transition. Go ahead. The knees are wider than the ribs. Gentle flex in the toes. Bring the soles of the feet to the sky. Keep the bend in the knees. Option 1, you can take your hands, grab behind your thighs. Option 2, you can grab behind your calves. Or option 3, your ankles. Or 3 different spots on the feet. You can grab your inner arch underneath the ball of the foot or the ball of the foot. You can wrap your fingers around your two peace fingers around your big toe, or grab the pinky toe edge. Soften the shoulders, unclench your jaw. Maybe you rock from side to side, maybe not. Smile once more and give yourself some credit, all the effort it took to show up tonight or today, all the effort it takes to dive into self-care and actually enjoy it and actually repeat and go there again and again. That's a lot of effort, especially for everybody, especially the really people that are busy and don't think they can. I'm really proud of you. One more breath. Exhale, release, just come out organically, bringing both the soles of feet together and just letting go. And from here, we are going to start to move into the pranayama meditation part of our practice tonight. This can be best done seated because we're going to use a finger gesture to do some action. We're going to do alternate nostril breathing. So if you're not familiar with alternate nostril breathing, we're closing one nostril at a time, inhaling and exhale through it. Grab your waters if you need them first. Grab a pillow or a bolster if you'd like. Oh, before I get too comfortable, so go ahead and just pick whichever hand you like for our hand gesture. I'm going to come closer to the screen so you can see. So I'm just going to predominantly a lot of the right hand's used, but no big deal. If the right hand doesn't feel right, just use the left. So from here, one accessible way is extending the pinky and the thumb out, kind of like a little hang ten dude. This can be an accessible way. If you'd like a little bit more action, you can go ahead and bring the ring finger to the party. If that don't feel right, don't force it. Just put the ring finger down. So either hand, whichever hand feels right for the gesture. And then in our comfortable position, grab a blanket, cozy up in that. We're just going to take this pranayama and move right into shavasana. And then from here, if you want to put some padding to the knees, you can put blocks underneath the knees or pillows. And go ahead, we're going to take our hand gesture after we're comfortable, and let's take 2 great big cleansing breaths before we start. Gentle inhale through the nose. Really loud, let it out through the mouth. Try to get all the air out of the belly. Let the tension go. Again, inhaling through the nose. Nice big ha as you exhale. Let's do that one more time. Inhaling through the nose. Exhale nice and loud. Just let that tension go. The louder the breath, the more tension we can release. And from here, we'll start to close our nostrils. So if you're using your right hand, we're going to start with the pinky closing the left nostril. We're going to start inhaling through the right. If you're the left hand, it's going to be your thumb that's closing on the left nostril. So whichever hand, wherever we're at, close the left nostril. And then we're going to want to close our lips and make sure our teeth are parted. And when you're ready, smooth inhale through the nose. Nice and slow. And you can either hold or not. And then we're going to take the thumb, close off the right nostril, and exhale really slowly through the left. Mouth closed. Inhaling gently back through the left. Close the left, exhale right. Your choice if you want to hold your breath for a second at the top. Inhaling gently back through the right. Exhale, close right, exhale left. Contract your belly all the way back to your spine to get that air out. Inhale back left. Hold or not, close left, exhale right, nice and smooth. Close the mouth. Inhale right. Hold or not, close right, exhale left. Inhale left. Hold at the top or not, close left, exhale gently through the right. Inhale right. Hold at the top or not, close right, exhale left. Inhale left. Hold at the top or not, close left, exhale right. I'll cue it one more time. Gentle inhale right. Hold or not, close right, exhale left. Mouth is closed. Inhale left. Hold or not, close left, exhale right. And from here, let's do at least 5 more of these in silence. Just remember to close your lips, part your teeth, and inhale and exhale slowly. Unclench your jaw. Wherever you are, let's go one more time, and let's make sure to exhale right where we started at the right nostril. And when that feels complete, release your hand and just breathe freely here. Your choice to remain seated, or if you'd like to take this next few minutes for Shavasana, go ahead and cozy up in any way that's comfortable for your body. You can lay on your back, maybe put a bolster or pillows underneath your knees, or you can lay in fetal position on your favorite side. Again, putting bolster or pillow between your knees. We just want to take this next few moments for our bodies to absorb everything it just did. Excuse me. Option to let go of the meditative breath or stick with it, yogi's choice. And one last option, if you'd like it, I invite you to repeat to yourself, I will be kind to myself no matter what. I will be kind to myself no matter what. know that this time that you take for your self-care will have a positive impact on you mentally, physically, and spiritually. You can go ahead and start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, bring any last little minute movement into the body here. And if you happen to be laying down, go ahead and come up into a seated position to seal out our practice together. And from our seated position, go ahead, inhale them arms up, taking all that good energy we just created. Exhale down, leave behind what you no longer need today. And again, inhaling arms up. And go ahead, roll your wrist in one direction on the way down. Last time, inhaling arms up. And go ahead and roll your wrist in the opposite direction on the way down. Placing our hands in prayer position in front of the heart space. Give gratitude to yourself first and to your practice. I'd like to thank you for sharing your time, your energy, and your practice with me. Let's take one last cleansing breath together. Big inhale through the nose. Nice and loud, sigh it out. It's going to be a good night tonight. May you be well, may you be safe, may you be at peace. Namaste.